Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another GTA Online video. This is going to be a very quick review of the brand new Ubermacht Cypher. And the reason it's going to be a very quick review, it's not going to be like the videos I normally do on these cars, is because, of course, as many of you guys probably know, my house got hit by a hurricane and I probably don't have power, so I'm recording this all beforehand. And basically, that's it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to test the speed. We're going to test, we'll test the bumpiness. Actually, let me go ahead and fully upgrade this thing. And we'll sort of just see if this vehicle is good. Because the one thing I will say, I am super looking forward to this vehicle. I don't even care if it sucks. The fact that we finally have a freaking BMW in the game is awesome. Because the other Ubermachs, they kind of suck as far as the looks go. And we went over that pretty easily. I don't think we were going too fast, but let's go ahead and go up here to the little bridge and we'll test out the speed. So we're gonna go to teleport waypoint. So we fully upgraded this, as you guys saw, and what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go straight through. We don't need to wait for a grenade or anything. Speed, bottom right, 109 so far. It doesn't feel very fast. I will say that right off the bat. And that's one of the things I've seen some people complain. Some people who have been testing this in single player. Apparently this is the slowest vehicle in the Tuners DLC, which is very disappointing. And we only hit like 118 on the max there. So this thing, it is a sports car. Like, it's in the sports class, but it is not very fast. Typical Rockstar. Typical Rockstar. We can't have everything. We can't have good looks and fast cars, it seems. But what we're gonna do some of those other tests just to see if we can maybe boost that speed. Let's go back here. Let's go to teleports. And then what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna put drift tires. So we're gonna go to the vehicle options, vehicle mod menu, bennies, and then drift tires. So drift tires, no lower. Like I said, we only hit 118 last time. Let's see if we can get any higher top speed this time. So already slightly faster. Okay. I'll see once we're done these speed tests if the drift tires affects handling in a terrible way. All right, 134, 135. That's a little bit more respectable. 139. Oh, 140. All right. So you put the drift tires on, and of course you go a little faster. All right, okay, not bad. Now we're gonna go ahead and stance it, because stancing usually affects this. So let's go back here, and we're gonna turn drift tires off, but we are going to lower it. And it does camber the tires quite a little bit. So already I can feel this thing breaking the physics. So yeah, all right, stancing this. Oh man, we're flying now. This is what we're looking for. 150, 155, 150, 160. All right, okay, stancing is the move if you want speed on this vehicle. Now again, we're gonna wait a sec because we're gonna go into the city here to test to see if we can actually drive this thing while stanced. All right. We're going to do one final test while we're over here with stanced and drift tires. So let's go back. And let's go ahead and put on the drift tires. So we now have lower stance and drift tires. Let's see how fast we can push this. Already 120, already 130, already 140, already 150, already 160. Jesus. We might break 180. 170, 175. Oh, almost. All right, so not as fast as the Calico when you do the craziness on the Calico, but 170, that is still booking it. Of course, this is very unstable as far as driving is concerned, though. As you can see, you just slide everywhere. All right, let's go into the city. Let's test the handling real quick. Let's see what's popping with that. Let's just go mid-city here and teleport. And we're going to keep the same settings, the drift tires and the stanced. Now, of course, you can drift or you slide a lot. Ooh, okay. Spinning out. Doesn't feel like this is very, I don't know, good to drive on. You have to go very slow around corners, otherwise you are just losing control. And even if you do go too fast, you can't control it. All right, so unless you're driving in a straight line, don't have both of these on. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, we are going to turn drift tires on, and I just want to see quickly if this is any better. Okay, that was not bad. Let's try and take one more or a couple more turns here, because ultimately with drift tires, you want to be able to drift easily, and it does seem like this thing can drift relatively easy. I'm not losing control on these couple corners, so this could be a fun car, and that's always what you're looking for in free roam, is just to have some fun with. And if this thing drifts pretty easily, don't lose control that often, then yeah, this could be. All right, don't use the handbrake. Handbrake is not good with drift tires. But apart from that, it did seem like everything else was relatively good for drift tires. I mean, some cars makes it crazy. If you just use a stick, you can kind of easily control this. So that's, all right, I like that. I like that. Now we're going to go ahead and take drift tires off and just lower it. Let's see if we can drive like this. Because if you can, ultimately, this is what you're going to want to do. So we still have some decent control here. Does slide slightly there. Using the brake. The braking is not very good. Let's try the handbrake around one of these next corners. With the handbrake. All right, the handbrake. Okay, this thing's got some decent slide. It's not the best, but it's definitely very easy to control. And it's not like last week's car where you just freaking lose control. Okay, I whiffed there. But I like it. I'm liking the handling so far. You have a couple different options, which is actually great too. Because if you want the drift tires, throw those on, have a little more fun around corners. You want speed, definitely stance it like we're doing here. And it makes it slightly harder to handle, but it's still relatively easy. And what we're going to go ahead and do is take both of them off, because you also have the standard stock option with nothing. And this is just going to be a more chill drive, I think. Because as you saw in the speed test, you don't go that fast. So you're not going to really be losing control too often, I would imagine. I mean, you can see in the city here, we're only going like 115. So not the speediest of cars if you don't stance it. Put those drift tires on, but it makes it a little bit easier to handle. I mean, you can see it takes corners pretty good, actually. We're not really losing too much speed around them either, which is always good. So maybe if you're doing a race with a lot of corners, this might not be terrible, but I'd probably still have it stanced. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, I never even mentioned it, but the price of this vehicle is hold on, let me pull it up. It is 1.1 mil, I think, for the trade, and I think 1.5 for the buy it now. And that's relatively cheap. I think it's actually one of the cheapest from the DLC. And what you get is actually a pretty awesome looking car. Let me go ahead and spawn one without all the junk. Let's go to sports, and it is called the Cypher. This thing actually comes with stock or painted stock rims, which is kind of cool. But just stock looks great. Like the front, oh man, that front looks so good. And this is more of an M2 than an M4, but maybe one day we'll get an M4. I would say this thing is worth it. This thing is 100% worth it, especially that trade price, 1.1 mil for this type of car. That's a great deal. The amount of variance you get actually seems like a good thing to me. The customization, I didn't really show it, but the customization was pretty good. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was pretty good. The liveries, it did have some, I'll go ahead and throw some of the livery gameplay on the screen. It's got some pretty solid liveries. Overall, this is a good buy. like I said, the only buyer beware would be stock. It's very slow, if not the slowest from this DLC. If you do want the speed, you are going to either have to put the drift tires on or the stance. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This one actually might not have been that quick of a video, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one.